For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On the crisp autumn morning of September 15, 1980, 41-year-old Ranger Elias Crow left his family's home in a remote desert outpost for a personal leave trip deep into the rugged Chiricahua-style Hoodoo Badlands. He never returned. His truck was later discovered locked and abandoned at a remote overlook. His last communication, a frantic trail check vlog ending with blurred, terrifying frames. Despite an extensive investigation by local law enforcement, led by Detective Luis Armenta, and a tireless search by fellow rangers, Elias Crow vanished without a trace, leaving behind an unsettling mystery. For over 4 decades, his wife, Mara, and their family lived with agonizing uncertainty, haunted by the specter of what truly befell him. Then, in 2023, a breakthrough discovery was made through cutting-edge audio forensics, revealing a chilling, hidden truth. This is the complete investigation into what truly happened to Ranger Elias Crow. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Now let's continue. Elias Crow, a 41-year-old naturalist, possessed a profound devotion to the untamed wilderness. His life was a testament to the preservation of natural beauty, a calling he pursued both professionally as a park ranger and personally through countless exploratory trips. It was on one such personal leave, seeking the solace and challenge of the landscape, that he ventured into the remote Chiricahua-style Hoodoo Badlands. This region, a labyrinth of wind-carved rock formations, presented a stark, almost alien beauty, its isolation as profound as its rugged grandeur. Yet beneath its captivating facade lay an inherent danger, a vastness capable of swallowing anyone who strayed too far from the known path. Crow was meticulous in his documentation, often recording his observations and experiences through a personal vlog. What began as a routine trail check, a tranquil chronicle of flora, fauna, and geological wonders, soon transformed into a chilling record of escalating dread. The footage, initially showcasing the serene solitude of his surroundings, abruptly shifted in tone. The steady hand of the experienced ranger faltered, the camera's focus becoming erratic, mirroring a rapidly unfolding crisis. The final, frantic moments captured unsettling images, reflective eyes beyond the fireline, a phrase that would haunt investigators for years. These fleeting glimpses, coupled with Crow's increasingly desperate commentary, painted a picture of profound terror. The signal, once a lifeline to the outside world, fractured and then died, plunging the recording into an abrupt, silent darkness. The transmission ceased, leaving only a void. Days later, the grim confirmation of Elias Crow's disappearance arrived. His pickup truck, a familiar sight to his colleagues, was discovered abandoned at a remote overlook within the Badlands. The vehicle was locked, undisturbed, offering no immediate signs of struggle or forced entry. Its presence, stark and solitary, only deepened the mystery. The man was gone, his vehicle a silent testament to his last known location. The news reverberated through the close-knit community of park rangers and naturalists. Colleagues grappled with a gnawing concern, while his wife, Mara Crow, herself a dedicated ranger, was plunged into an immediate state of shock and confusion. The wilderness, which Elias had so loved and understood, had seemingly claimed him without a trace, leaving behind only questions and the chilling, fragmented images of his final broadcast. Upon the confirmation of Elias Crow's overdue return and the grim discovery of his abandoned truck, the remote Badlands immediately became the epicenter of a frantic search operation. Search and rescue teams comprising seasoned rangers, volunteers, and specialized K-9 units were rapidly deployed. Their mission was urgent: to scour the treacherous terrain for any sign of the missing naturalist. Simultaneously, the case was escalated, prompting the arrival of County Detective Luis Armenta, who formally assumed command of the missing person investigation. His initial task was to establish a clear picture from an already fragmented scene. Armenta's team meticulously processed the overlook where Crow's truck had been found. The vehicle itself offered no immediate answers. It was locked, undisturbed, and devoid of any obvious signs of struggle or forced entry. Forensic technicians swept the immediate surroundings, searching for footprints, discarded items, or any anomaly that might indicate a direction of travel or an altercation. Yet the rugged, windswept ground, mostly rock and sparse scrub, retained little evidence. The vastness of the landscape seemed to swallow any potential clues. Mara Crow, Elia's wife and a fellow ranger, was among the first to be interviewed. Her initial testimony, though delivered amidst profound shock and a burgeoning anguish, provided critical context. She detailed Elia's meticulous planning, his deep understanding of the wilderness, and his usual habits on such solitary excursions. Her descriptions painted a portrait of a man too experienced to simply wander off, deepening the mystery surrounding his disappearance. The most unsettling piece of evidence remained the fragmented vlog footage. Investigators repeatedly reviewed the chaotic final moments, focusing intently on the fleeting glimpse of reflective eyes beyond the fireline. This enigmatic image, coupled with Elia's escalating panic, became a focal point of early analysis. It fueled immediate, albeit speculative, theories ranging from an unexpected encounter with large predators to more unusual, unproven possibilities. However, the footage, in its abrupt conclusion, provided no definitive answers, only a chilling sense of dread and a lack of clear direction for the ground search. The inherent challenges of the terrain further complicated the nascent investigation. The Chiricahua-style Hoodoo Badlands, with their labyrinthine canyons, towering rock formations, and countless hidden crevices, presented an overwhelming obstacle. The absence of a clear starting point from the locked truck meant search teams had to cover immense, difficult areas, often without a definitive path to follow, making the initial efforts both exhaustive and frustratingly unproductive. The initial frantic burst of activity in the Chiricahua-style Badlands soon settled into a protracted, grueling campaign. Weeks bled into months as search and rescue teams, despite their unwavering dedication, found themselves battling not just the harsh terrain, but the profound absence of any tangible lead. Every mapped canyon, every hoodoo formation, every crevice within a 20-mile radius of Elia's Crow's abandoned truck was meticulously traversed. Helicopters flew grid patterns, thermal imaging scanned the night, and K-9 units tirelessly covered ground, yet the vast wilderness yielded nothing. No discarded gear, no footprints beyond those initially identified at the overlook, no sign of Elia's Crow himself. The exhaustive efforts, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars and countless man-hours, ultimately proved fruitless. The lack of any further physical evidence became the most debilitating factor. There was no body, no personal effects, no struggle, no indication of foul play beyond the unsettling nature of the vlog. Without a focal point, without a direction, the investigation began to lose its momentum. The reflective eyes beyond the fireline from Crow's final footage, once a chilling clue, now seemed to float in an interpretive void. The sheer inexplicability of it all, coupled with the remote, almost mystical setting, began to fuel local whispers. Tales of the Wendigo, an ancient, malevolent spirit of the wilderness, began to surface, a testament to humanity's need for an explanation, however supernatural, in the face of the unknown. While investigators dismissed such folklore, the absence of a rational alternative deepened the mystery for the public and added an unsettling layer to the narrative. For Mara Crow, the diminishing returns of the search brought a profound and aching despair. Each passing day without news chipped away at the fragile hope of finding her husband alive. Detective Armenta, a man accustomed to solving cases, found himself staring at an increasingly barren landscape of facts. The frustration of hitting dead ends, coupled with the emotional toll on the victim's family, weighed heavily. Eventually, with all initial leads exhausted and no new information emerging from the extensive searches or public appeals, the active investigation into Elias Crow's disappearance was officially reclassified. The case, once a priority, was regretfully shelved as a cold missing person file, awaiting the emergence of some unforeseen critical piece of evidence that might one day rekindle the fading embers of hope. Years passed since Elias Crow vanished, the file on his disappearance gathering dust in the cold case archives. The official reclassification had marked a period of dormancy, a time when the unresolved nature of the case continued to haunt Detective Luis Armenta. Then a confluence of factors, perhaps a routine cold case review, or more likely, the advent of new forensic capabilities, prompted a decision to revisit the original evidence, which had once seemed utterly exhausted. Every piece of data, every recorded moment from Elias Crow's fateful trip, was pulled from storage for a fresh, unbiased appraisal, a last-ditch effort against the encroaching silence. The focus soon narrowed to the very last seconds of Elias Crow's vlog footage. These were the chaotic, fragmented frames that had previously been dismissed as too blurred or too fleeting to offer concrete clues amidst the initial panic. Technicians, employing advanced digital enhancement and frame-by-frame analysis, meticulously dissected these final moments. What slowly emerged from the digital static was a stunning, previously overlooked detail. A discernible figure, indistinct but undeniably present, moving against the relentless wind within the Badlands. It was a human element, subtly captured in the periphery of Crow's frantic recording, shifting the entire paradigm of the investigation from a mysterious vanishing to a potential human interaction. Simultaneously, a deeper dive into the raw data stream of the vlog revealed another critical anomaly. Beyond the visual, embedded within the audio and transmission metadata, was a distinct pattern of radio interference. It was subtle, almost imperceptible to the unaided ear or eye during the initial chaotic review, but it was undeniably there, a signature of an unknown broadcast. This discovery mandated specialized expertise. RF analyst Priyanka Deshpande, known for her meticulous work in signal intelligence, was brought in. Her initial task was to map this interference, to understand its origin and scope. Deshpande's sophisticated analysis quickly yielded a precise geographical pinpoint. The interference, she determined, was not random atmospheric noise, but a localized, consistent signal emanating from a specific area. Her mapping traced its origin with remarkable accuracy to a narrow canyon, a hidden fissure within the Badlands, far from the main trails and obscured from conventional sight. This dual revelation, a human presence in the final frames and a precise, anomalous signal source, electrified the cold case. After years of dead ends and fading hope, the Elias Crow investigation had suddenly found a new, tangible direction, offering the first glimmer that the mystery of his disappearance might finally be unraveled. The revelation of a discernible figure in Elias Crow's final footage, coupled with the precisely mapped radio interference, proved to be the catalyst Detective Luis Armenta had long awaited. Years of frustration and the quiet ache of an unsolved case dissolved, replaced by a renewed, almost palpable sense of purpose. The Elias Crow investigation, officially a cold case for too long, was now reopened with a vigor that belied its age. Armenta, no longer chasing ghosts in the Badlands, had tangible leads, a direction. Central to this reinvigorated effort was RF analyst Priyanka Deshpande. Her initial mapping of the mysterious radio interference had been instrumental, but her role was now expanded to encompass a comprehensive dissection of all recorded audio and video data. Deshpande, with her specialized equipment and meticulous methodology, began to peel back layers of digital noise and visual distortion, seeking answers that conventional analysis had missed. Her expertise was not just in identifying signals, but in interpreting their hidden meanings. The geographical focus of the entire investigation shifted dramatically. No longer were search teams aimlessly combing vast expanses. Their efforts were now concentrated with surgical precision on the narrow canyon Despan had identified. This remote, almost inaccessible fissure in the Badlands, previously just another anonymous geological feature, became the prime suspect location, the place where the threads of Elias Crow's disappearance converged. Teams were dispatched to survey this specific area, searching for any physical evidence that might corroborate the digital findings. Simultaneously, the video forensics on the figure, moving against the wind, intensified. Experts employed state-of-the-art software to stabilize, enhance, and magnify every pixel of those final, chaotic frames. They sought to discern any identifying features: clothing, gait, size, perhaps even a weapon or distinguishing object. The aim was to move beyond the mere confirmation of a human presence to understanding its identity and its actions in those critical moments. This level of technological leverage, unavailable during the initial investigation, offered a stark contrast to the earlier, more rudimentary efforts. Modern forensics were now breathing new life into a case once deemed unsolvable. For Mara Crow, the news of these breakthroughs brought a fragile, bittersweet hope. After years of agonizing uncertainty, the possibility of finally understanding what truly happened to her husband resurfaced, a painful but necessary step towards any form of closure. Priyanka Despan's exhaustive deep dive into the raw audio data, an undertaking that went far beyond mere signal mapping, finally yielded the first truly shocking revelation. Beneath the layers of static, wind noise, and Elias Crow's escalating panic, Despan's sophisticated algorithms isolated a distinct, highly patterned acoustic signature. She identified what appeared to be layered human whistles, almost imperceptible to the unaided ear, embedded within the radio interference. These were not random sounds but a carefully orchestrated sequence. Expert analysts, brought in specifically for their knowledge of clandestine communications, definitively linked these acoustic patterns to a sophisticated lure technique. This specific whistle pattern, they confirmed, was known to be employed by smugglers operating in remote, border regions, a method of communication designed to be both subtle and effective across vast, desolate landscapes. The context of Elias Crow's disappearance instantly shifted. What had been a mysterious vanishing, steeped in local folklore, was now undeniably rooted in a criminal act. The visual component of Crow's frantic vlog also underwent renewed, intense scrutiny. Advanced thermal imaging forensics were applied to the chaotic final frames, revealing subtle thermal echoes previously masked by the low resolution and the camera's erratic movement. These echoes, when enhanced and stabilized, coalesced into a distinct, albeit fleeting, antlered silhouette, moving just beyond the flickering fireline. This thermal signature, combined with the reflective properties of specialized night vision or protective gear, provided a chillingly rational explanation for the reflective eyes that had so terrified Crow. He had perceived a monstrous, antlered figure, a manifestation of the Wendigo legend, but the reality was far more tangible and menacing. The chilling truth began to emerge with irrefutable clarity. Elias Crow had not encountered a mythical beast or a supernatural entity of the wilderness. The pervasive local legend of the Wendigo, often invoked in the Badlands to explain the inexplicable, had served as an unwitting, tragic mask for a very real, very human threat. Ranger Crow had inadvertently stumbled upon a sophisticated, clandestine operation, and his frantic footage was not of a monster, but of an ambush in progress. The truth, once shrouded in myth and the chilling whispers of local legend, finally emerged with irrefutable clarity. Ranger Elias Crow had not succumbed to a supernatural entity, nor had he merely vanished into the vast, indifferent wilderness. He had, instead, stumbled upon a sophisticated smuggling operation, an illicit enterprise cunningly hidden within the very badlands he so deeply revered. The reflective eyes beyond the fireline and the fleeting, antlered silhouette that had plunged him into such profound terror were not the manifestations of an ancient Wendigo, but rather the deliberate ruse or the misinterpreted equipment of human predators. These were the night vision goggles, thermal gear, or perhaps even animal masks employed by the smugglers, designed to disorient and intimidate any unwitting intruder. His panic, captured in those final, frantic frames, was a visceral reaction to a very real, very human ambush. The layered human whistles, so painstakingly uncovered by Priyanka Despan's audio forensics, served as the clandestine communication network, coordinating Crow's capture in the desolate canyon. Elias Crow, a naturalist whose life was dedicated to understanding the wild, had tragically misidentified a very human threat. He was ambushed, overwhelmed, and taken by these criminals, his disappearance a deliberate act to protect their illicit activities. While his ultimate fate remained unconfirmed by any physical discovery, the mystery of what happened to him was definitively solved. For Mara Crow, the revelation brought a painful, yet undeniable form of closure. The years of agonizing uncertainty, of imagining her husband lost to the elements or a mythical beast, were replaced by a clearer, if no less heartbreaking, understanding. There was no more ambiguity, only the stark reality of human malice. Detective Armenta, a man accustomed to the complexities of crime, reflected on the profound lessons of the case. It was a testament to the power of persistence, the evolution of forensic science, and the unexpected ways in which ancient folklore could inadvertently provide cover for modern criminal enterprises. The story of Elias Crow became a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even in the most remote and seemingly untouched wilderness, hidden dangers can lurk. Local legends, born of fear and the unknown, could be exploited or misinterpreted, masking the very real, very tangible threats posed by human actions. The ranger vanished, not swallowed by a monster of the wild, but by the shadows of a hidden world, a stark intersection of nature's mystery and man's darker ambitions.